Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rick Reads Comics. We're continuing through House of X and Powers of 10. We're almost done with this book that collects all the 6 issues of each. And we're going to jump in to Powers of X, or Powers of 10, number 5 tonight. And once we read this, we'll only have 2 more. So we're almost done. If you aren't caught up, you want to go back and look at the other videos. They're in order in my playlist from issue number. Once you watch it, you'll see what chapter it's on and stuff. But this is chapter 10, and it's for the children. And you can see on the cover, we have Mr. Sinister. He is also on the cover of the thumbnail in full color. So you can see what that issue looked like. We'll go real quick to the credits. So we're reading Powers of 10, and the writer for both is Jonathan Hickman. He's for House of X and Powers of 10. He's the one that kind of put the whole story together. And then we'll see for Powers of 10, the pencilers are R.B. Silva with Pepe Larraz for issue 6. We're in 5, so we're almost there. Inkers is R.B. Silva with Adriano Di Benedito for issues 1 and 2. So go back, you'll see those. Color artist is Marty Gracia with David Curiel for number 6. And cover art is R.B. Silva and Marty Gracia. So letters is VC's Clayton Cowles, design Tom Muller, assistant editors Annalise Bisa, and editors Jordan D. White. You can pause this if you want to read the rest of the credits for the collection. And X-Men, of course, is created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Now, these are issues that all came out in 2019. So, pretty far behind on reading these. But this is my first time to read it, and it's pretty good. All right, chapter 10 for the children. Let's see what we got. X to the zero power, the X-Men in year 1, Dallas, Texas. My question is, can it be done? You know what they say, Professor, there's nothing that can't be done. The real question is one of feasibility. For example, what if the energy cost of the improvements you want means we need access to a fusion reactor? Would that really be a workable solution? Let's say it would be, hypothetically. Well, now we're talking. So that's Corsair, I believe. Cyclops' father. You're on your, third generation of Cerebro? Fourth, counting the initial prototype. But only that first one was solely my design, Forge. Oh, okay, that's Forge, not Corsair. Most of the improvements regarding range and sensitivity have been Henry McCoy's doing. So Forge is a mutant that has a lot to do with technology. He can make anything, basically. And now you want to use the current functionality of Cerebro, the ability to locate any mutant on the planet, to also copy that mutant's mind, to make a backup of a sentient being. Yes, that's correct. But in my gentle broaching of the subject with Henry, he was rather emphatic that it cannot be done. Beast is certainly smart, but this kind of machine building is, well, a bit beyond the good doctor's expertise. As I see it, you have 2 problems. Volume. There are a lot of mutant minds out there, Charles, and that number is growing every year. Then there's redundancy. In the micro, you're talking about a database of all mutant minds that is going to have to account for updated versions of each mind. For example, the difference between who you were last year and who you are this year. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this. That's crazy. And in the macro, you're going to need duplicate versions of the entire system because you can't afford to ever lose the data. So you need at least 1 backup. I would prefer 5. 1 main unit, 3 backups, and an additional 1 for unforeseen complications. Sure, why not? As far as I can see, all that's stopping you is access to an unlimited power source and unlimited storage. Unfortunately, nothing like that currently exists on this planet. No, it doesn't. Not on this planet. And he smiles. I should have seen that coming. Earthbound as you are, it's easy to forget you have access to higher powers. There is a cloaked antimatter engine of Imperial design currently in Earth's orbit, and I believe Shi'ar logic diamonds might be suitable for data storage. I'm not sure, you'd have to tell me. Okay, taking this a step further, you want me to construct an entirely new system or integrate it into the existing one. As you very well know, the only person qualified to make that call is you, Forge. The only question is, are you or are you not going to build it for me? Okay. I was wondering how they were doing this. If you go back in the last issues, um, they're actually bringing mutants back to life using Cerebro and using the powers of mutants. So when they die, they are able to upload their consciousness, upload their mind into those new bodies, almost like clones. Okay, and we have our first information block. Cerebro, version 7.0 build, C2. Originally powered by a Shi'ar antimatter engine, the current build of Cerebro now runs on a Krakoan no-place vent, converted by Forge to act as an unlimited power source for mutants living on the island. GR Logic diamonds still remain the primary choice for data storage, and are also how Sinister's DNA sequencing is cached. No, Forge's increasing mastery of Krakoan tech continues unabated. The transition of his prowess with traditional building to biological machine building remains impressive. A revolution in Krakoan technology seems imminent. Functionality. Once a week, Charles Xavier copies the latest version of every mutant mind to multiple redundant cradles located in several locations across the world. These backups are the essence of each mutant: how they think, how they feel, their memories, their very being. This partial process takes approximately 3 hours. Once a year, Xavier does a hard backup of each mutant on the planet. Unlike the weekly backups, this process is not a partial backup, but a fresh copy of a whole mind. This process takes 3 days, during which the process cannot be interrupted and Xavier cannot be disturbed. Note, as previously stated, while there has been no experimentation regarding what happens when you combine a mutant mind with a husk that is not their own. It is believed that unless a mutant has some primary or secondary ability to overcome the potential damage such a mismatch would cause, it's likely to be harmful and possibly fatal. Note, it is possible for a telepathic operator to replace their own mind with the previous legacy version, but doing so is incredibly difficult and would most likely require a skilled and experienced operator. No, Charles Xavier has done this twice. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, the cradle locations are House of X, 2, Island M, 3, Summer House, 4, The Point, and 5, Moira's No Place. All right, let's jump back to the story. So, X to the first power, the X-Men in year 10, the Louvre. Everyone out. And they are all being controlled. Look at her. And they leave. So this is Emma Frost, the White Queen. She told everybody to leave. You can stop skulking around. It's unbecoming. And frankly, you haven't been subtle enough for that kind of work in quite some time. Hello, Emma. I felt you looking for me at the Canova, but this seemed a more appropriate place to me. Why are you here, Charles? For the same reason I am, to see you, Miss Frost. Ah, so it's the two of you together. This is incredible. This is either going to be incredibly heroic or terrifyingly reckless. Dare I ask which? Come now, Emma. Where's your father? Where's your father? Where's your faith? Couldn't it just as easily be both? What do you really want, Charles? I'm quite busy of late. I've noticed. And because I know the Hellfire Corporation is an international prime mover, I was wondering if you've heard rumblings of a certain company being on the verge of delivering miracle drugs to the market. I'm aware of certain rumors. And are you aware that through a series of shell corporations and offshore interests, that I am the one behind this company? You were listening earlier when I pointed out your lack of such subtlety, right? Fair enough. But the move behind that move is we're going to use the need for those drugs as leverage in the establishment of a mutant nation state, Krakoa. So, not heroic at all, just reckless. So, this is back in the past when he's revealing, or I guess him and Magneto are revealing all this to Emma Frost to get her on the team. Let's put all the mutants on an island again, gather them together in one place, put a giant target on it. You should know better, because this is exactly what Magneto did back on Genosha when it was attacked and everybody died. And you think I'd actually help with this? Not so much this as helping us to form a mutant government. A government for a nation that doesn't exist, based on the economic ramifications of an imaginary drug in a world that historically would rather kill us than trust us? Aren't the two of you getting a little ahead of yourselves? In 1 month, the population of Krakoa will, seemingly overnight, expand from several mutants to well over 100,000. 3 months later, it will be 5 times that. And by this time next year, it could be as high as 2 million. We are not ahead of ourselves, Miss Frost. We are woefully behind. My God, you're serious, aren't you? This is that day you've been waiting for. And she looks. To make right all the things that went wrong. What's going to make it different this time? Let us show you. And they pull out this little flower. Let's see what it's going to do. Later, Krakoa. So now they're on Krakoa. And she sighs. One more time then, for the children. All right, I'm in. Tell me what you need. So she sees it and then it convinces her. The companies actually, that I've created to process and manufacture the drugs are operating at scale and structured in a manner that makes intellectual theft almost impossible. Add in the fact that the raw materials themselves, the flowers, only grow where Krakoa wills, and any argument against our having a monopoly evaporates, which is where you come in. Because you cannot trust the distribution of your product to humans, and the Hellfire Corporation already has the international reach to do so. You want me to become the East India Trading Company of mutantdom, don't you? Yes. I won't lie. I like the taste of it. We would be willing to formalize the arrangement, of course. We were thinking a 20-year. Yes, as I was saying, we were thinking a 50-year exclusive contract with you as sole distributor. Better. And leaving behind talk of money and getting back to the real matter at hand, we're offering 2 seats on the 12-person council that will act as the first Krakoan government of Krakoa. The council is temporary, I assume, until a more formal structure is agreed upon. Perhaps. We'll find our way as we grow. Regardless, it's a spark that sets things in motion, and what begins as a fire will grow to an inferno. Okay, but why 2 seats? They look at each other. We need to bring we need you to bring Sebastian Shaw back into the Hellfire. You don't like that idea. But I just got rid of him. We need you to be the face of our legitimate trade with the nations of the world, Emma. The consummate politician who partners with countries with which we have official relationships. And for the ones we do not, you want a black king to run the black book operations into countries who reject our sovereignty. Get the drugs in, get the mutants out. Can we count on you? Will you do it? I'll do it, but not for 2 seats on the council. I'll be needing 3. Okay, I wonder who's going to be the third. The 12-person ruling council of Krakoa that decides how the mutant nation handles external conflicts and the internal laws of the island itself. There is some debate as to whether this council will continue in perpetuity or if some other system of government will replace it. The Quiet Council of Krakoa. Autumn. Professor X, Magneto, and the other one's been redacted. Winter, we don't know. Spring, we got Black King, Sebastian Shaw, and the White Queen, Emma Frost. And the other one's redacted. Summer, we don't know. And then, of course, Krakoa is Cypher and Krakoa. Okay, so we got those, I guess, lined out, but I don't know who the other ones are. X to the first power, the X-Men Year 10, a summoning. Mutants of Earth, we are building something. All of you, all our brothers, all our sisters, all. Now is the time to put aside all differences and realize we are one people. So it's Professor X, I'm assuming, talking through the mind. So I am extending to you an invitation. So, okay, he's projected himself across to him. This looks like it's the Acolytes. Join us, for you have a place here. Mr. Sinister and all his Sinisters. It is a place of refuge, of sanctuary. It is your home. Okay, there's Omega Red. I don't know who the other guys are. and we will be waiting for you here on Krakoa. So let me see if I understand you clearly. You're inviting all the mutants on this planet to live together on your perfect little island. The good, the evil, and those beyond such quaint descriptors. Yes, we are, Namor, and we want you to join us. Please, come home. It's kind of you to ask, but if I'm comprehending the real reason you're doing this, it's because you finally realize that you are not them, and that they will never accept you or love you, not because you don't deserve it, but because they envy you. They hate your superiority, and they always will. It's good that you finally figured this out. But let me ask you, do I strike you as someone who's just now realized how much better I am than everyone else? And do you actually think I believe that you feel that way too? Go away, little man, and don't come back until you really mean it. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Okay, now we're jumping to the future because we are in powers of 10, and it's X to the third power, the X-Men in year 1000. So in the past issue, something crazy is going on. I don't really know this whole part of the story, but they are trying to get assimilated by the Phalanx, some kind of something from space, and it came down. And yeah, go back to the other issues; it'll kind of explain it a little bit. So here it is. It's in the process of assimilation, I think, and it says, "I understand you have an answer. Answer we Phalanx have. Whatever pleases you pleases we. We should hear your answer." And then starts moving and forming somebody. There they are. These are our Phalanx terms. And it looks like it kisses their forehead. And they yell, "Ah!" By them, we Phalanx accept. Okay, and I guess they're assimilated. Later, they agreed. Why then did the Phalanx destroy the Elder? So it got destroyed. There's really not enough data to make an error-free projection librarian. Best guess then. Very well. As humanity evolved, so did machines. It's how you modeled us. After yourselves, so we could become more, so we could improve. Together, we've harnessed the entire power of this planet, and we are approaching the ability to harness the sum total of our solar system, which is Promethean, but on a universal scale, not mighty, unlike them. I, along with all thinking machines on this planet, am composed of smaller, self improving, and self replicating machines. The Phalanx operates in the same manner. More sophisticated, yes, but similar. This is almost certainly not true for their masters. They are most likely machines made of machines as well, but not technological. No, they are probably constructed using the fundamental components of all things: elementary matter, universal particles, electrons, protons, leptons, possibly even primordial carbons. These theoretical constructs would be massively dense machine brains that would dwarf any thinking machine we could imagine. The real question is, how dense are they? Because if they are dense enough, then they could collapse space and time around them and become singularities. I know this part. It's a Titan theory. It states that at the heart of every black hole in the universe, there is actually a supermassive machine brain, each one containing the collective intelligence of a society, so advanced that it collapsed in on itself. Yes, that's an argument for independent Titan societies, and I'm sure those exist, but it's more than that. Ask yourself, what is a black hole? It's a wormhole, a bridge from one singularity to the next. You have to consider that it's very possible each black hole isn't a separate machine. It's all one single machine that stretches its tendrils across the entirety of the known universe. One giant societal intelligence so far beyond us, it might as well be that God mankind spent so much time looking for. Fascinating, terrifying, but that doesn't explain why the Phalanx ate the Elder. We reached beyond ourselves to build a world mind and attract a galactic suitor, a protector. Instead, we attracted a predator, and a hungry one at that. The Phalanx are built to consume worthy cultures and add that consumed societal intelligence to theirs, and by extension, to their masters. But this is taxing work, and the energy cost is high. They must eat to survive. I still don't understand why. It's not an incremental deal, librarian. They've accepted our overture. Converting matter to energy is how they thrive in society in service to their masters. We asked for sovereignty, but it came with an unexpected price. Tomorrow, they will absorb our collective intelligence into theirs, and the history and consciousness of this planet will live on forever. But in doing so, they will feed, consuming this entire planet, and leaving no living thing behind. Wow. Sounds like they didn't really know what they was doing when they thought of this plan. Uh, the characters, not like the writers or anything. Okay, types of societies. Another information block. Universal. SI, 10 million. Titan. A Titan is an interstellar society that has become so advanced that the density of its unified intelligence has collapsed space time into a singularity. All universal societies exist in partially atemporal space, but unlike strongholds or dominions, Titans are a singular, hermetic intellect, isolationist, and not a collective or a group. Like all universal societies, on the Kardashev scale, a Titan represents a Type O civilization. SI, 100 million, stronghold. A stronghold is a small network of connected titans, normally five or fewer, typically confined to a galactic cluster or a dense collection of stacked galaxies. Unlike titans, strongholds are not lone wolf societies that seek to avoid conflict with other universal societies. Strongholds are warring factions seeking to actively destroy or absorb other strongholds in order to achieve dominion status and often challenge the sovereignty of dominions themselves. If machines have religions, expansion and conquest are the altar at which strongholds worship. And then SI, undefined, a dominion. So starts out with small, gets to big, dominion. A dominion is a collective of 10 or more titans acting in unison to control a particular sector or sectors of space in both area and epochs of time. And while the minimum number of titans needed to compose a dominion is 10, the average number of titans in a dominion is much higher than that. For example, the local dominion controlling the sector, including Earth, space, is a collective numbering 112 titans. It's worth noting that, in terms of intellect and power, a dominion is not colloquially godlike, but categorically godlike, and indistinguishable from any and all mythic or religious comparisons. Note, beyond universal abstracts, under which dominions are seen as naturally occurring, the only primal threats that a dominion fears are the world eater, Galactus, and the singular universal manifestations of life, the Phoenix. Wow. Okay, so the only thing that dominions are scared of is Galactus and the Phoenix, which is pretty cool. Okay, now we'll have a little diagram, a Technarch, and the World Mind, and the Phalanx. Then it goes to the Titan, and the Stronghold, and then the Dominion. Okay, here's a quote from Namor. When you see me again, understand what that means. And Professor X, is what we have perfect? No, what is? But it's a start, and a good one. Krakoa, 1 month ago. Moira's no place, Professor X's secret cradle. This is that one blind step into the abyss, my friends. Our proverbial leap of faith. Once we do this, there will be no turning back. Total commitment is what's required here. So are we agreed? Of course. Yes. Very well. Charles? Yes, Harry? Whatever has been there between us over the years, all our disagreements, all the anger at the other's relentless ideology, and unyielding persistence, that ends today. You have my word. And he smiles. And then he puts on his helmet. Humans of the planet Earth, I am the mutant Charles Xavier, and I bring you a message of hope. In the coming days, you will learn of several far reaching pharmaceutical breakthroughs that have been discovered by mutant scientists. These drugs extend human life, heal diseases of the mind, and will prevent or cure most common maladies. Influenza, Alzheimer's, ALS, many cancers gone overnight. These drugs will make life on this planet better, remarkably so. All this we have made for you. In the past, they would have been a gift, something freely given by me to you because I believed it would create harmony between our two peoples. That was my dream, harmony, but you have taught me a harsh lesson. That dream was a lie. You see, all I ever wanted was peace between humans and mutants. All I ever wanted was to love you and for you to love us. We wanted to save you, and we did many times. But in return, all you did was stand by while evil men killed our children, over 16 million of them. So there will be no gift, for you have not earned it. We will, however, let you pay for it. In return for two things, we will provide you with the means to have a better life, one without pain or suffering and full of hope, and it will cost you so little. First, you must accept the island of Krakoa as the nation state of all mutants on this planet. We will happily go through the same process as any newly formed nation with the UN, but there is an expectation that our sovereignty will be recognized. Second, all mutants by birth can claim Krakoan citizenship, and with that citizenship, we expect a period of amnesty so that those who have been singled out as criminals or punished and imprisoned by humans can overcome man's bias against mutants. From this day forward, mutants will be judged by mutant law, not man's. These are our simple demands, and they are not negotiable. In return for making our lives better, we will do the same for you. And if you find yourselves asking, who are these mutants to think they can dictate terms to us? We are the future, an evolutionary inevitability. The Earth's true inheritors. You closed our eyes last night believing this world would be forever yours. You closed your eyes last night believing this world would be yours forever. That was your dream. And like mine, it was a lie. Here is a new truth. While you slept, the world changed. Dang, okay. That was a good speech. So this is back in the past when he's declaring all this. We've been jumping between the past and the future. So it gets a little confusing. But when you go back and read the issues, it starts to make a little sense. And you kind of get the big picture put together. So that's the end of Powers of 10, issue number 5. We only have 2 issues left in this book. We have House of X number 6 and Powers of 10 number 6. So yeah, stay tuned. We're almost done. We're going to jump through it and then we'll start something new coming up. But I'm excited. This will be the last 2 issues. We'll see how this all ties up. And of course, there's more issues after this for the other series that spring off. But in this collection, at least, there's 2 left. All right. I'll see you again next time, guys.